for me, the question is, when did they know that they needed to cut $130 million a month? Because this is not a new story. Last March, Te Whatu Ora officials were telling the Health Select Committee that the amount of money the government then promised at the budget was not enough.
Right. That's
so
right.
they knew in advance. So there's a real.
So let's just take.
So hang on a second. If I can just give you one more number as well, which will be of interest to you, Damien, because I know you're a consumer. We're paying for some of this because we put tobacco taxes back up, because we're delivering $1.5 billion across the forecast period, across 4 years, in new tobacco taxes, which costs 5,000 lives a year.
Yeah. Follow-up question.
So, hold on, no. I just want to
jump in here.
I like it when Damien Grant so confidently wants to come in, and then he doesn't obviously realise what's coming out. But you got to applaud them when they're confident. I mean, give them some credit for being confident.
I want to drill down on this. So it doesn't really matter how much money we spend on doctors, does it? Because we don't have them.
It makes an enormous difference how much money we spend on doctors. It makes an enormous difference how much money we spend on a health service.
How many new doctors are we training every year?
We'll be training an additional
200.
We'll be training an additional 25 after this particular program, but we also bring a lot of new doctors every year into the health system.
Okay, so at the moment we have a health system an educational system that trains doctors. I think is it 200 doctors a year, or is it maybe?
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
It could be 400.
Yep.
I don't know. I may be confusing the dentist. Anyway, we train a very small number of doctors. The vast majority of those doctors immediately go overseas because they can get a whole pile of additional money. It's nothing to do with student loans. It's simply the amount of money that you can earn. We then bring in a whole bunch of doctors.
So what he just said is we're not paying our doctors in New Zealand enough. That's what he's just said. Without saying it, that's what he's just said.
Yeah.
Simply the amount of money that you can earn. We then bring in a whole bunch of doctors from God only knows where. So some of them I'm sure are excellent and some of them are terrible.
You know, I'm not racist. I have some Maori friends. Some of my friends are Maori. They're excellent. You know, we're just I'm sure that some of these doctors from God knows where. And this is not the worst part. He does mention the third world countries, I'm sure.
So some of them I'm sure are excellent and some of them are terrible. But the fundamental problem is that there simply aren't enough doctors, and if we are getting doctors in, we're probably pinching them from some third world country anyway. So all we're doing is.
But none of that, Damien, is an excuse for then spending less money than we should be.
Amen. We need to bond those doctors. I agree with you. Great follow-up question.
No, that is not the follow-up question. That's where we're wrapped up with there. Yeah, so just, sprinkle a little bit of xenophobia in there, and because nothing good comes from a third world country, Chewie. So they've got to be terrible, and some of them will be fine, but they're going to be terrible. But some of them will be fine. I've got a friend from a third world country, so I can say that. Chewie.
It's also this fantastic assumption that someone could just rock up at the border and go, "I'm a doctor," and we don't look into their qualifications at all.
Yeah, I'm a terrible one, but I am one.
Any time requalifying or having it just doesn't happen. They're just given the keys to the hospital and gone, wow, can you bring your own white coat from home? We really need doctors. But yes,
hang on. There's a really important question. Do third world countries have white coats? I mean, maybe they come with like a flax coat, or that's probably what he'd expect, wouldn't it? Like a made of leaves or something. Wouldn't that be what Damien Grant would expect?
I would assume.
Yeah.
I love it when Damien Grant stumbles onto a point, gets up, brushes himself off, and carries on without learning fucking anything. There could be an argument there of like, why don't we keep all the doctors that we train? Because they make more money. Okay, cool, Damien. Why do they need to make more money? Because they've got student loans. Fantastic. Is that something that we could do? Is that something that we can go, hey, look, we really need, this is a core thing that we need. More doctors and more nurses and more teachers and more police. And we need to keep them here. What's something that we could do? What's something we could easily do? Fucking get rid of their student loans, you absolute nonce.
Or pay them more.
That'll work.
Close.
One or the other.
Yeah, he's so close.